What's up? Welcome back to my channel, or for the first time if you're new, I'm Sylvan, and today I'm going to be reacting to Zhao's EP, Tiny Giant. Between the thumbnail and that title, I very much am expecting this to be more fun vibes than anything, but who knows, we might have some more ponderous thing or dramatic, depressing lore, but I have a feeling it might be a bit more fun than that. So let's just get straight to it. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video, leave a comment on your thoughts, consider becoming a channel member if you want to support me just that little bit extra, and let's get into this. As always, I'm curious to see what kind of song it is. Okay. Okay, we have a 3D element for the actual visual. Oh, now into the 2D. God. Okay. This matches the vibe I was sort of expecting. Just took a moment to check subtitle stuff. For some reason, there's no English subtitles. But, yeah, this... God, poor Damien. Is this what he's been doing since we last saw him? God. God. This is quite goofy. Damien's dancing to get pictures. Okay, okay. A little bit of a change up. I like the mix of language. It's always a fun thing to have in songs. Ooh. Incorporating just the gotcha. They really are all in on this one little dance. The mix. Damien in the back getting into it, okay. The mix of the 2D and 3D is very interesting. Oh, Miyabi. Yeah, she's a celebrity, all right. What are you gonna do about it, Zhao? Oh? What? The fucking poses. Okay. She saves the day and everybody likes her for it. God. What? Oh boy. We've got a bit of a Bernice moment, I feel like. Of course, Nicole's picking up the money. This is so fucking goofy. Oh, poor Damien. Uh-huh, you run this town, you say. Okay. Evidently, I was right in thinking that this was going to be more fun vibes than anything. Unfortunately, because I don't have the subtitles, I don't have a concrete understanding of all of the lyrics. Obviously, some of them are in English, but most of them aren't. So my lyrical analysis is going to be fairly sparse here. But to initially give just my general thoughts, I will admit that this is not necessarily my kind of vibe. The song isn't necessarily my kind of genre, and this is in many ways essentially a dance video, which I don't necessarily watch much of. So on a personal level, I am not super overjoyed or excited by this, but I do think it is well made nonetheless. I do think that they put a lot of passion and fun into it, and visually speaking, I enjoy it quite a bit. There's a lot of fun details in here. But with all that in mind, the fact that I don't have the subtitles for the lyrics, and the song itself doesn't excite me to a crazy degree, I'm probably going to be a bit more sparse in this one, a bit more generalized in my thoughts. But I think that's fine, because unless there's something very deep hidden in the lyrics, this really is more just good vibes than I would say a ton of real characterization, though there is still some of that. First and foremost, we have various elements expressing that Zhao is in charge. She is the boss around town. She's very busy, she has a lot of tasks, a lot of people who wait on her hand and foot, but at the same time, is very popular. At the very least, based on this EP, it is clear that she is in the spotlight and likes it. She wants to be the center of attention, or at the very least wants to be seen that way. Of course, given her role in Krampus, it is always possible that we might have a bit of a Batman Bruce Wayne moment where she makes herself this very boisterous personality, but has this underlying seriousness. But if that's the case, it isn't really expressed here, and I would also argue that it probably isn't that, though I still put the idea forward in case maybe it is, because of the moment later when Miyabi passes by and all of Zhao's adoring fans turn to follow Miyabi, at which point she seems a little disappointed, she notices something she can do to help some people, and then suddenly she gets all this adoration again. It does very much feel like she likes to be in the spotlight, she wants that attention, she likes to feel important, is perhaps the key piece. And I suppose with that in mind, you could extend it to these dance sections potentially, to be an expression of her being in the spotlight, being this big important person who likes to be seen as such. She has Damien waiting on her hand and foot, standing in the background, and even by the end being pulled into this dance that she is doing. In this, though, we perhaps can find another aspect about her. And what I mean by that is she has a reputation. She is a known figure with influence and power. All that it takes to stop some thugs from messing with the ramen shop is her standing atop her sword and glaring at them. Perhaps in a serious sense, that is why she tries to maintain this level of importance of being in the spotlight, of being seen as this capable, important, powerful person, because reputation is a currency in of itself. And in all of this, I'd like to bring up this moment actually, because I jokingly in the reaction called this a bit of a Bernice moment, because in the Bernice demo, there was this element of Bernice bringing all of these odd opposing groups together to dance, which we do have here as well. We have the thugs and the guy they were trying to mess with or mug or whatever, pretty much, all dancing together. But it is very distinctly different from the Bernice case. For Bernice, it's born out of this joy-filled lack of fear or care for danger, and just beacon of happiness and fun that drew everyone together in that scenario. Where here, based on the expressions on the faces of these people, which they use the art on the masks to great effect to express the emotions of the thugs are not seemingly happy about doing this, but they begrudgingly do it anyways, while the ramen shop guy, which I forget the name of, is just a little bit confused by the whole thing. It much more speaks to me as Zhao is the kind of person who you can't refuse if she asks you to do something. And that is something reflected in the handful of lyrics that I can parse out. There's all these lines about how she runs this town, how she'll own the world. It's this very confident, dominant vibe that she gives off in this song. She's putting on a show, she's stepping into the spotlight, and then she's using that influence and power to her benefit, to expand her control, rise up the ladder of power, and eventually come to own everything, control everything. That is largely speaking what I get out of this EP about her. The other aspect, though, that I would like to touch on before I end this is Damien. Damien is a character we haven't really seen much of lately. We knew that Zhao was helping him out to get him out of the whole Porcelumex scenario, but we didn't know too many details. This very concretely shows us what position he has ended up in. He has effectively seemingly become Zhao's assistant, waiting on her hand and foot, doing everything she needs, making sure she's organized for the day, taking notes on the advice she gives him, even if what she asks him to do is degrading, like becoming a step for her to get into the car. It puts him in this position where he is sort of lowering himself, degrading himself to a degree, to be closely connected to this very powerful figure who, if their assertions in this song are true, is only growing in power, becoming more important. And so by being so close to her, he has at least a method of sorts upwards as well. And so he plays the game. He does what she asks of him. He follows her instructions, that kind of thing. He's playing the corporate game, essentially. And beyond that, there isn't really too much more about him here. He really is more sort of in the background in this and is a bit more of a joke element in here as well. But he's a character I've been interested to see where he ends up, so I felt like I wanted to at least mention something about him in relation to what this sort of entails for him. But with that, I don't really have too much more to say, so I'm going to end this here. But with that said, feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, leave a comment and your thoughts, and very special thanks to all of my channel members, including Amorphosilica, Desaize, and Pokolove101 at the normal tier, and Condom Nano at the cool person tier. Really appreciate your support. as always, and I hope you all enjoyed. Bye-bye!